If you've been told to have a low sodium diet, you may think, I don't salt my food. What else do I need to do? So much more. And in this video, we're going to talk about what that is. So why is it important to have a low sodium diet? Because a high sodium diet has been associated with heart disease, kidney disease, increased risk of cancer, and for myself as a liver doctor, uncontrolled ascites. And this is because when we have a high sodium diet, we also carry more water, and that increases the volume circulating through our cardiovascular system. And that puts a real strain on your heart and all your other organs. Did you know that you probably eat twice the recommended amount of sodium? Many medical societies recommend that you restrict your sodium intake to 2 grams per day, but the typical American diet has 4 grams, even 6. And so now we're going to tackle some tips on how to get your sodium intake under control. My first tip is to make small, consistent changes. You don't have to get all the way to the finish line on day one. Instead, I want you to focus on the process that's going to take you there. Evidence has shown that even reducing 1 gram of your sodium intake has definable health benefits. So start small and be consistent. For my second tip, you got to break down the numbers. Get into the math of how you actually will reach this goal. Because if you don't account for how much sodium is coming into your diet at breakfast, lunch, dinner, and did you think about snacks, desserts, and drinks, then you're never going to reach your goal. You're going to find that by midday, you've already exceeded it. And unless you're having a cucumber for dinner, you're going way over. Specifically, I want you to divide your goal by 4 and account for that amount at breakfast, lunch, dinner, and allow room for snacks and drinks. You then need to be thinking about your main part of your meal and all the sides. Think about your main part of your meal being less than 200 milligrams of sodium and each of the sides being less than 100 milligrams. This way, you're going to be striking somewhere around 500 milligrams for each of these components, and this is how you get to a final goal of 2 grams per day. For my third tip, eat lots of fruits and vegetables. Come on, doc, you're really going to tell me to eat more fruits and vegetables? What could be more cliche? Tell me something I don't know, right? Let me try. Fruits and vegetables have potassium in excess of sodium, and this ratio is healthy for your kidneys and can help to combat some of the cardiovascular disease that we see associated with a high salt diet. Fruits and vegetables are so wonderful because they often have no salt, and so you're able to get potassium into your diet in the absence of salt while filling yourself up with other nutrition and good taste. One caveat, if you have advanced kidney disease or you're on certain medications like spironolactone that will help you to retain potassium, be careful that you're not having an excessive amount in your diet as it could climb to dangerously high levels. Tip 4, try to replace salty flavors with acidity. This is a fun tip for you cooks out there, but it's equally applicable if you're eating out. When you're having a salad, don't go for the creamy ranch, which is high in sodium, but think about olive oil and vinegar. If you're having some French fries, try to keep down how much salt is on those, and also think about the condiments you're using. Skip the ketchup and go British. Have some malt vinegar. If you're cooking a roast, don't use broth, because whether you're using a chicken, beef, or a vegetable broth, these are all high in sodium, even if you opt for the low sodium ones. Better option, try a marinade of lime or orange juice. Make some pork carnitas. These are flavorful and they're low sodium. The acidity tenderizes the meat and enhances the flavor. My final tip is to change how you eat at restaurants. I could be cliche and tell you to prep all your food at home to ensure that it's low in sodium, but let's get real. Life is busy and you're going to need an assist for food prep. And so when you eat out, you need a strategy to keep the sodium content lower. So when you do eat out, first think about skipping appetizers because these are some of the menu items that have some of the highest salt. And here I'm going to even offer that you instead indulge in dessert because that's very low sodium, even if it is high fat. If you're going to have an appetizer, think about those that have less sodium. I'm from Texas and queso is a staple, but guacamole has much less sodium and because it's plant-based, is high in potassium. Any good Tex-Mex meal starts with a basket of chips, but that is loaded down with sodium. So rather than having the whole basket, just throw 12 on a side plate and try to get as much guac loaded onto those chips without them breaking. Next, consider how your meat is prepared. Many restaurants will brine their meat, or if they're breaded, that contains a lot of sodium. So instead, choose those meats that are more simply prepared. Finally, look to substitute your sides. Getting a burger with fries? Think about substituting the fries and swapping out for a salad. And get it with olive oil and vinegar so you're avoiding those creamy, rich sodium dressings. And continue to be mindful of the condiments that you use and go light on sauces because these are some of the heavier sodium contents within a restaurant meal. I hope you found this information helpful. In a future video, I'll discuss the things that I would never do while on a low sodium diet. So please subscribe to the channel and continue to explore it because we got a lot of information here discussing how your diet impacts your health. Thank you for watching and be safe.